By the end of this video, you'll unlock 5 easy ways to start reading even though you hate reading or can't focus.
But the world says I need to read to be successful.
Did that intro sound a little bit too familiar? Well, I know you clicked on this video because you're a problem solver, and what's the problem? A lot of people, including me, don't like reading. But I want to self-develop, I want to reach my goals, I want to be smarter in business, smarter in life, and getting those knowledge from books. But in order to fulfill that burning desire to achieve our goals, it's done by expanding our mind, which is usually within books.
Or so it seems.
I don't know about you, but despite how committed I am to reading, putting it in my agenda, setting aside time, or even when I have the book open, it's so hard to drag myself through the page. And when I do drag myself through the page, I'm not retaining any of the knowledge. But why is that? Because I feel like I'm not dumb.
Or am I?
Long story short, I found simple ways that really work, and I just want to save you all that trouble, so let's roll right into it. I guarantee after this video, you'll start breezing through these books and sucking up that knowledge like you're a vacuum. But most importantly, change your perspective on reading. So number 1, this is a life changer, especially for me because I like to do a lot of different things besides just self-development and working on my business, such as going to the gym, walking, cooking, cleaning, just things that are productive but you're not growing from it, if it makes sense. So during car rides or when I'm doing something that doesn't require a lot of energy, I turn on an audiobook or YouTube. I just wanted to state this as number 1 because there's such a big stigma that you need to read to be successful, or we were conditioned to believe in school if you don't read good or whatever, you're not smart. And that's simply not the case. Maybe you're someone like me where you learn better from audio and hearing these things and you just don't like reading. It's just so much easier for me to press play on something rather than open a book and sit there. Maybe reading is just really not your thing, and that doesn't mean you're dumb at all. In fact, this is the biggest thing I had to just let my ego down and understand, and I've grown so much more just from using more audiobooks and YouTube rather than learning from books, because either way you're still getting the same result, so it doesn't matter what route you take to get there. And in fact, I'm all about finding the laziest way effectively to get something done. But here's the thing, if you still want to invest your time in reading on top of YouTube or whatever you want to do, step 2 to 5, I'll share with you how I make reading more enjoyable. And this is coming from someone who hates reading. So continue watching. Number 2 is the 2-minute rule. I think the hardest thing about doing anything is just getting started. So there's something I do called 2-minute rule. It just means you do something for 2 minutes. So what I do is I open up the book and I read it just for 2 minutes. What this does is essentially when you're starting to read, it's building a habit. And when you build a habit, you're destroying other habits you have. And building a habit takes time. I believe like 21 days or more, a lot of time. So just start off with 2 minutes. Don't force yourself, because the more you force yourself, it just feels like a chore. So if you want to stop within those 2 minutes, then stop. But just gradually grow over time. Today might be 2 minutes, next week will be 5 minutes, and so on and so forth. But don't rush to growth. Don't force yourself to do something you don't want to do, but also push yourself enough because you know what you deserve. Number 3 is make it fun. I know, it's so funny, right? How can you make reading fun? Well, there's a lot of things you can do. For me, I'm very girly at times, so I like to color code everything. So I have my colored pens and highlighters to take notes and color code everything. I have a cute bookmark. or you can set up the environment. A lot of times I like to go outside and read, and shifting that environment, it just makes it feel really different. It's these subtle things that make the major impact. Odd enough for me to say, reading has actually been quite relaxing. I like to do it before I sleep just because it doesn't strain my eyes versus like scrolling on my phone with all the blue light. And it also just conditions my brain for the night, for when I sleep, and also the next day. Number 4, don't try to retain all the knowledge. I know we read books to get the knowledge or the storyboard, that way we can grow or have a better understanding of something. So it's kind of funny that I say this, but that's how you can overwhelm yourself. So just have one takeaway from the book you read today or the page you read today and implement that immediately. That way you don't feel like it's overwhelming or you don't know which part to start. It's not supposed to be something that's stressful, but I find that reading is more so paving the pavement for next steps and more growth. Number 5, so substitute something for reading. What do I mean by that? So we're on our phones mindlessly scrolling so many hours a day. I think an average person is on their phone like 8 hours a day, and that's minimum. So it's crazy. We can substitute that. For example, for me, usually when I reach for my phone, I'm on the bathroom, TMI, I tend to accidentally open up the app, right, to go on social media or whatever. Instead, I'll exit out of that and I'll open up my books app and I'll start reading on there. So there's little ways you can squeeze in reading into your day. I feel like when we make it such a big commitment like anything, it kind of turns us off and it just seems like so much work and hassle. But when we find creative, fun ways to really integrate it into our lives, it's much more enjoyable and it's serving its purpose, which is expanding us as people. And since naturally reading is more of a boring task compared to entertainment and such, it'll condition us to have a lower dopamine level, and when we read, it'll get more fun each time. Drop a comment down below which one of these 5 tips you'll be implementing. I really appreciate you investing your time with me today and love your support. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Spread love, and I'll see you in my next video.